after the live. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Please make sure you hit that like button, whether you're tuning in now or after the live. All right. So if you're tuning in now or after the live, please make sure to hit that like button. It will greatly help push this through the analytics, and it will help more people reach this beautiful community so we can have a more active discussion. Tanya, welcome in, my birthday sister. Our birthday's coming up here in a few weeks. I thank you for tuning in as always. MC Prosperity, Mark, Matt, Jorge, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to the Midday Market Report. Mark Sintel, thank you so much for tuning in. Mark James, 3 different Marks here. Caston, Cintiq, and James. Thank you to all 3 Marks for tuning in. I appreciate it. So good early afternoon, 1:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, November 20th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Welcome in, O. Johnson. So the Dow Jones is up 181.63. We'll try to get through this in about 10 to 12 minutes here. The Dow, I believe, it's already propositioned us with what we need to understand with its pattern formation. We're in a broadening wedge. We created this bullish Gartley W reversal right here off of the bottom pivot point at 32,580. Reestablished the upper pivot level at 33,900. And now it seems to me that we're coming up to 36,000 and some change up to the top of the broadening wedge to see which way the Dow Jones is going to go. I think it's a beautiful way for it to come up here by the end of the year, because we know all the bonuses get paid out to all the big wigs based on end of year stock price and Q3 earnings. So just consider that. The DXY's again getting hammered down 40 cents or 0.4% down to 103.41. I don't think it's any surprise for anybody in this community. We've been targeting this, and I talked about the technical target. Once it got rejected around 104.81, I showed the technical target at 102.89 and said it would happen in quick fashion. And it's happening in a quick fashion. We lost that rising channel. We talked about how it could possibly come up to 109. It never had the steam to finish that move up. But we've talked about, yeah, 109 could have been top end. Maybe if lucky 112. But the moment it breaks that rising channel, it's over. So we knew right when it broke and it got rejected that this was that's a dead horse here. And we knew once we go into 2024 with the BRICS agreement, with the BRICS nations, in 24 they can start unloading their U.S. Holdings, and they can also pay for petrol without the U.S. dollar. But they have to wait until January 1 based on, or first or second on their agreement. So, and if the U.S. dollar breaks down from 102.89 and you get a rejection there is a chance that we come all the way back to 97 bucks here, 97 on the dollar, and it's just going to continue to be worse and worse and worse. Right now, you're still living to the same standard of living in the USA, and it's hurting around the world. But what happens when the USA breaks its back right now? U.S. government bonds, as I said, with the government being able to continue to buy into these bonds, expect this to hit the floor. Expect it to hit the floor. I'm expecting it to come back down to this uptrending support, down around 3.95%. Does it get over there? Who knows? But it came up to almost our exact target at 5.07% before a retracement. And now it's back into the first consolidatory zone that we put in for this cup and handle. But I'm saying with what the government's doing in the printing presses, I don't think it's going to hold this area, even though we projected it in here. I think we have to look for a lower projection. And I've said this the last couple of weeks now. I'm not so sure 4.3% is going to hold. I think 3.95 is more like it. Tracy, welcome, and thank you so much for tuning in. A BlackRock ETF would pump it by 10 times. Be careful with that. Remember, they've already taken out a lot of that. Not the problem with everybody calling for this ETF and then putting out the fake news. when you keep putting out smoke and there's no fire, there's a bunch of smoke, no fire, smoke, no fire, we're freezing to death, but we can't find the fire even though there's smoke. The likelihood is next time that there's a real fire, no one's going to come crawling and you're not going to get the liquidity tug you're looking for initially. So most people will get liquidated in that opening stage on a big drop. Because now people are going to say bullshit and not buy. Crude oil is up 3.06% or $2.34 to $78.39. We essentially came down to the $70 target that the government gave us by end of year. It came down to $72.15. Now it's our first chance to reverse. It doesn't always need to come exactly down to those levels, but it came in between that 77 and 69.97. We didn't know exactly where it was going to end with what the government was saying. I still anticipate now in 24 with what they're doing, an 85% chance we get up to that 123, if not, or 109. But also, I think with what they're doing here, it's going to go a little bit higher than what we're anticipating because they're cutting reserves, or cutting exports to the USA, and they're keeping more imports in Saudi Arabia, at least keeping it away from the US. I think they're doing that in lieu of switching from paying for petrol in the US reserve currency. I think that's what they're preparing for. But the US is slashing prices at the same. It's a terrible combination. That's like having less stock and charging less price. That shit flies off the shelves, and then all of a sudden the last remaining of that inventory is skyrocketing by 10, 50. You don't even know how high it's going to go. Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. Thank you for tuning in as always. I appreciate seeing you in here. As we're getting closer to the end of the midday market report today, not quite the end, we still got a few more minutes, but please make sure to hit that like button. 46 people watching, only half of you have hit that like button. I sure as hell think we deserve more than half. Don't give anybody a reason not to stick around. If you don't want to hit the like button, you can always send a YouTube super chat, which it's been a little while since I got one of those, or you can join Tom's Army. But I just would appreciate you hitting that like button. That really does make all the difference. We've got the gold-silver ratio at 84. Still a great time to buy silver, but this looks like a gigantic head and shoulders pattern and bear flag formed here simultaneously. So make sure if you're looking to buy silver, don't let it run away from you, because if this breaks down truthfully, it's going to come down here somewhere about 77. So that ratio is going to come down by about 7 to 1. So you're going to get 7 less ounces of silver for your ounce of gold. So pay attention to the rotation that's happening. Gold, metals are under pressure for how long? If it bounces off this rotational tug, which it looks like it's building the bull flag as we speak, and it's trying to confirm this breakout, especially if you look at the daily time frame, it looks like it's trying to confirm these breakouts, although today it looks like we got a little bit of a long leg doji. So I'm still targeting, if it's going to break out, it's probably going to happen around the 1930 level. It's already bounced there once, so there's no reason for it to come back, but if it's bullish still, it could, and I would not be surprised if it did this. It did this, now it gets rejected here, builds that nice W, and then starts building the levels. You know, I would not be surprised if something like that happened. And then obviously if it fails this level and you see it come down here and then down, obviously it failed. But right now you're talking about playing off of an inverted head and shoulders, possible that bullish handle on the V-shaped recovery as well. So we got to watch that very closely for a breakout possible in gold. And it's going to catch us by surprise, as I've been saying. B2 gold, like we said last week, you'll get another chance down here because we can't tell which part of the tug it's at because of the gold price. It looks like, just like with gold, it's building what looks like an inverted head and shoulders on a V-shaped recovery. But if gold breaks down, you know very well that this will be all for naught. What the hell is this at? I went way too far and it's hard to see sometimes when everybody's. So, boom, V-shape, boom, trying to build this handle. And now it would have to bounce out and do it something like that. So, otherwise we can come down to $2.40, make no mistake about it. MC Prosperity, thanks Tom for your support and great TA understanding. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you so much for the $10 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Always means a lot. Always means a lot to see that. To pay it forward mentality. I love it. And then the silver, $23.50, down 0.84%, or down 19, about 20 cents. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. What is the chance that it will drop to 57.50? I'll talk about XRP in just a minute, but I implore everybody, tune into my XRP technical analysis I put out this morning, about 2.5 hours ago. It covers everything you just asked. But I'll definitely go over it again one more time in here. Look like a long leg doji here as well in the daily. So it broke back up here. Now what happens? Is it going to come back down and try to break out? Or does this is where the rotation comes back down? There's these big V shapes in here. There's also on both sides of this with silver as well. We've got some nice inversion here. We can see this nice inverted head and shoulders that's filled out earlier in the pattern. And if I'm looking at this, you got to be very careful. Boom, head, creating the right side. It's like, look at the Mickey Mouse. And then if it breaks out, it's up to 28.84. If it breaks down, you could come back down to 18 bucks, but that has to break down this area right here first, if that's going to happen. So that's all with that side of the midday market report. One more thing I'll show, because somebody asked, XRP's at 61923. The odds of XRP coming back down to 58 cents. Well, if we look at the actual short-term pattern that we're in right now, if we get rejected on the rising channel resistance, which that's up here, we could never come up there just yet. Right now, we could very well be trying to validate a move in the daily. We got on top of this descending channel, so you very well could come back down here. Maybe to 593 but this is why I talked about that level. You could try to hold the outside here, but if you break back down, it's not just a matter of coming to 58. My target is around 564, but now because of where it's at, I think you could lower that. I think now it might come down even lower because you got more liquidity if it were to break down. But what we're trying to do right now is validate 615, which we did yesterday on the daily close for XRP. But we're trying to make sure we stay over this descending channel now, and that's the new support level. So maybe 593 if you're trying to hold that still. But we're trying to have some nice candles here back to back, but this one looks like hell. Unless we have some volatility here at the end of the day. Not a lot of volume, haven't made a new high, stuck in the middle. So nothing more, nothing less. But it was not a terrible candle. It's a kind of a hold candle, but you see it's in an M-topping reversal until it breaks past. First off, we need to get past 63.6, but ultimately past 663 to invalidate this little structure here. Otherwise, it becomes a little dangerous. So that's about all I'm going to say with XRP. If you want to see my crypto, make sure you watch at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I cover crypto. I don't like to involve much crypto in the midday market report because I think it cheapens the midday market report. Not very many people will come in here. And I don't want people to just come in here so that they can circumvent watching my hard work I put in the morning. So that's, oh, it is very cold here, upper 20s. So I'm going to finish this right now, and then I'm going to go inside because it is cold. But I like to do it outside as long as I can, and then in the winter, a lot of times I can't even come out here. So the stock market real quick, and make sure to hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Only 35 people hit the like out of 47. I really think it's worth more than a 75% clip. I'm not charging you for the information, and I think we can all help each other do this. So I can't get this pushing through the analytics without each and every one of yours hard work. So I greatly appreciate everybody watching. Wall Street stocks gathered momentum in afternoon trading Monday after notching their third straight week of wins as hopes for a retreat and U.S. interest rates hike persisted. The S&P 500 rose 0.4%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 0.3%, or about 110 points. The tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite gained 0.7% during the first day of the holiday short weekend. Remember, Thanksgiving's on Thursday here in the USA. Stocks have stayed aloft as signs of cooler inflation encourage the market to believe that the Federal Reserve is finally done with raising rates. Now the focus is on when a rate cut could come, with traders pricing in a 30% chance of that happening as soon as March. Hello, super hyperinflation. Tuesday's release of minutes from the Fed's last meeting could provide fodder for that debate, but with little on the economic docket and the Thanksgiving closure on Thursday ahead, trading could stay muted. Eyes will be on NVIDIA's financial results, also due Tuesday after the chip maker's last earnings report sent stocks broadly warring higher as the AI hype cycle kicked in. The AI effect was still in play Monday as Microsoft shares rose more than 1% in afternoon trading after the OpenAI-backed hired Sam Altman to lead a new AI research team. Weekend efforts to reinstate Altman as ChatGPT maker CEO after a surprise ouster came to nothing, and the company's board named former Twitch chief Emmett Shear to replace him. What a terrible idea. Terrible mistake. If I'm invested in that company, I'm out. That guy's, I'm not even going to get into it. Here are the, I don't care about the stocks. So Wall Street stocks continue to tick upward during afternoon trading Monday after notching the third straight week of wins, and we already know why. And then, I don't care. That's about it. That's it. That's it. That's all we need to really know here. We covered everything out. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate what I do, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. As we inch closer to 19,000 subscribers, it'd be cool to hit it by Thanksgiving. Not sure if we'll be able to. We still need over 50 subscribers. So we'll see. If you're watching the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this far and wide. Remember to help everybody. Stay loving, not hateful. Be the light, not the darkness. We don't play the victim in here. We play the winner, and because of that, I have to be a straight shooter. But I can also be loving, personable, and, you know, don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I know it triggers some people in the comments, but you know what? If I don't push the message and you don't push the message, who will?